Hey, what's going on, peoples? It's your boy B-Mac here, B-Mack's Corner, here about to change out my stator on my 2001 Honda Shadow 600. I'm just doing a voiceover because it was easier for me to do that. So there's the rectifier right there, and the stator is behind this cover right here. I ordered mine off Amazon. Make sure you have the right one when you order. There's a difference between the 2000s and 1990s. But let's get to it. First step you gotta do is pull that small cover off right there. And it's got a 1.5mm Allen at the bottom, and then it's a pin at the back holding that top piece in. You just pull that up and it'll come right off, and then you can slide the cover off. That covers your chain up. The stator has about 10, I think, bolts going all the way around it, and there are different sizes, so you will need to be able to keep up with them to know what's bolt go in which spot when you take them out. I used the cardboard and poked holes in it, and that's how I kept up with it. Right now I'm showing you that bolt right there, you can't get it out without moving the shifter bar right there. You have to take that bolt out right there and pull it off of there to get that shifter bar to move, so you can get that one bolt out. Or if you can figure any other way to get it out, but that's how I had to do it. I had to take that shifter off. Alright, so I took the shifter off. You see I left it at the top. I just took it off at the back. And then I went ahead and pulled the rectifier off. The rectifier has two bolts on it holding it. As you can see, my connection is kind of fried. It has two nuts holding it on to those two posts right there, and that's where the connection's at for the stator and the rectifier. They're both going to be sitting in that little gold bracket right there. It depends on if yours is still, set up the same as a original factory. That's how my setup's still original, so it's set up that way. And like I said, I took that off. It was only one bolt, and you pry it off. You're gonna have to also set it back in the right spot when you do it. It's kind of like adjust to how you want your shifter to feel. And that wire is also, you see the wire running at the top, that's the stator plugged up to the rectifier. Like I said, with the bolts, you gotta keep up with them so you know which one go where. Got a couple different sizes in there. But not as far as they all the same size bolt, it's just lengthwise. Pulling it off was kind of a bitch. It's magnetized, so I had to tap it a couple times with the brass hammer, and I did lose about a quart of oil when I pulled this off, and I had just changed my oil. But anyway, you can drain it. I mean, either way it goes, it's going to come out. So you can drain it and catch it and save it, or either way it's going to come out. So that's the back of the stator cover right there. You have those 4 bolts actually holding the stator to the cover. And then you see at the top, behind those gears is where the wires ran. That gear, it may come off on the stator like that, or it may sit on the machine in that hole right there by the big gear, but that's where it goes at, and it just kind of slides in there, so you need to be careful with that, not to damage those. That's where the starter is connected and starts everything up, so you need to make sure you keep that intact and know exactly how it goes back in there. Hopefully yours comes out like mine and kind of sits there, and when you go to put it back, it's gonna be a little difficult. So there's my box that I got from Amazon. Like I said, cow trick. And the rectifier is also a cow trick. It came together, and I also had the gasket. The gasket, I think that came from Caltrick too. They have a store online, but I just typed it in the search bar and it popped up for all three. Gasket is not a must for the 2001. I guess they can realize you only needed the RTV, so you don't have to buy the gasket. It was only 10 bucks. I went ahead and got it. This is the two different rectifiers. When I bought my bike, I don't know if someone had that one or if that's an OEM or what, but I got a new one. And like you said, the connection on mine is fried, and you can look at these, they're pretty clean. They also sent the extra connection, so I probably could fix mine, the old one, possibly, if it isn't like damaged on the inside and it's just the wiring. But I mean, for the price, I paid maybe 80 bucks for all three: the gasket, the rectifier, the stator, so it's not a knock over the head, and make sure everything's working right. What else? Like I said, I used the gasket and the RTV. I just spread a little bit around the gasket and the RTV before I put it on. When you got it all, you got the stator in there, bolted down, and you got the wire ran behind the little gold piece. Hopefully I go over there in a second. It's a little gold piece, a little bracket that holds the wire down. Once everything's all put back together and you go to put it back on, it was hard. It was a little difficult because you got to make sure you keep that gear in place. You can, I've heard of people saying you tilt the bike to where it leans. That way that gear will hold in place, and then try putting it on that way, which is probably a better way. Or you can just keep trying, holding it in and then trying it. I ended up getting about the 10th time, but as you can see, those gold pieces, hopefully, there we go. Where my finger's at, it's a gold bracket right there holding the wire down to keep it from, you know, hitting the magnet as it go across. It's at the top too. There's one bolt on each side. Once you take that gear off, you can just move that gear. It just slides right out of there. It's not bolted or anything, but it is two Allen bolts right there holding that gold piece that holds that wire down. And you have to run it along the backside of that gear. But once you remove the gear, you'll be able to see how it's ran. Other than that, this is a pretty simple job. I just didn't see anybody else with a video that was actually a little better detail, or at least showing you everything. As far as that wire there, the stator comes with the piece that slides in there. As far as you see how it's kind of sealed at that hole at the top, the stator comes with that piece, but that gold bracket is what you have to take off and hide the wire. What else did I have with this job? Oh yeah, you see it right there. Wire goes under, come through there. Also, once you get everything back on, or once you pull it off, you can ohm it out and make sure everything's ohmed out right. And like I said, I checked the ohms on both of them, and the old one I took off was the same, but the rectifier, you can see the connection on the cable is bad. So, and I've always been told you have to change both of them. Go ahead and change both of them at the same time. And this is like that. Appreciate it. Like, subscribe. I'll post more videos as I run through any troubles on my bike. Thanks.